So when you start an engineering degree, you get excited because you think you'll get a high amount of income after you graduate. But after a couple semesters learning the basic engineering principles, everyone has to take very difficult classes. In this video, we take a look at some of the most rigorous classes in engineering.
Nice, okay.
Though this is only applied to maybe
I don't know
mechanical,
if I got
civil,
it.
and
I
chemical
think-
engineering, since those are what I have experience with, at least, hopefully. So let's take a look at number 5. I think it's everyone's memeing on this
Oh, fuck.
class. It's called thermodynamics. Before you take thermo, you might have seen the infamous ideal gas
Pick up
law.
both soul
You know,
canister and blue fuse.
it's just PV equals
and just
nRT.
make sure you note down the code.
Everything you've
And
everything when you're given pressure, volume,
let's just go
etc.
back. See
It's
what
like
happens.
easy, you know, just plug
Oh,
and
we have to wait
chug.
for the teleport.
But in this class, you literally have to look at everything away from ideal gas.
No, we just have to put
You start looking at Van der Waals equations, Virial, and Peng-Robinson equations. When you've taken this class, you literally have to look at the tables for hours and doing interpolations. There's steam table, just air, like that's one of the worst. Like sometimes you also have to like give it from Celsius or something like that to Kelvin to Rankine, you know, like conversion factors. Yeah, so those alone, just interpolating, was very tedious to do.
Yeah.
And not doing homework with a team would be impossible, especially if you have a job
Tomahawk, there's an instant
and other
reload.
hobbies while taking this class. Yep, steam tables. About that, I remember one time in our class when we learned about ideal solutions.
Alright, 3,
Solutions,
2, 1.
okay? Not gases. And someone used ideal gas to find the temperature of the solution during the exam. And oh my gosh, like there was so much material in that
Let's
class.
just save one zombie.
Coming in at
Save
number
one zombie
4,
Regardless, I don't want to stay here for a while.
fluid
Oh.
mechanics. Where do I even begin with this class?
Alright, press on
Moody
left.
chart, laminar versus turbulent flows, Newtonian versus
I don't wanna do the
non-Newtonians,
Will-O-Wisp again, man.
three-dimensional fluid flows, solving the Navier-Stokes equations.
Fuck, dude.
This class was one of the most overwhelming classes that I've ever
Did I-
taken.
Oh my god.
Fluid mechanics has 2 parts, statics and dynamics. And each of these
what
parts
is that?
require
What was that?
1 semester each because of how much material there was in the class. We never even finished the book. It is fairly low in the list because of how much applications fluid
Well,
mechanics
okay.
is in
Do
engineering.
we need to open this though?
Coming in at number 3,
Where-
physical chemistry. This one does not make
You're
sense.
safe, man.
I literally had to go all of the available office hours because I could not understand it based on natural phenomenon. For example, an electron. Is it a particle? Is it a wave? Does it spin?
I kinda wanna
Does it
try
not
the
spin?
other
Does it
guys,
spin
other
reversely?
roles.
No one knows. It
Fireball.
literally depends on the situation.
What does a fireball
The
do?
previous 2 classes that I mentioned earlier was fairly difficult, but I could make sense of it because they apply to natural phenomenon. Something heats up, some heat goes in, okay? Makes sense. Something flows on a
What does
tube,
the
there's
soul- I
friction
need
on a
to know
tube.
what the soul canister and
One electron goes on 2 holes? That doesn't make sense. There's only 1 electron. Like, it just does not make sense. And literally, Schrödinger equation and its variation did not make sense, especially if you've never seen it. It's like taking F equals ma. That equation has an imaginary number in it. Like, that does not make sense. Number 2, I think, is process simulation. This class wasn't as
Mr.
difficult
Ragnarok,
as the
dude.
previous 3, if and only if.
What?
You
It's
know
on
how to
the
code.
Second,
This was so time consuming that even working with my
think some of my
friends,
zombies are
we had to
damaged,
spend
so-
20 plus hours on our weekly homework. This amount of time didn't even include our studying times and exams. In this class, we had to make various numerical methods from scratch. The only reason I did so well in this class was because our professor would just give big hints, and sometimes he would just give us
sounds about
that code during office hours,
Oh, that's a new kind of one.
which is really neat. But coming in at number 1, I think everybody knows this. It's the subject, whatever subject it is, could literally be English 101 in your engineering classes. It's
Yeah.
the subject with the worst instructor. What else can I say? Even the easiest classes can be 100 times more difficult with the worst instructor compared to a class with the hardest topics, such as number 2, by a professor who is compassionate. I remember the time when our professor would project a 99.99% highlighted book in the projector. The only thing I could read in that projector are, although, in
you had it.
conclusion,
Nice.
those kinds of words.
Okay.
This class was very sad because a lot of people start leaving after the eye clicker in the beginning of the class, which
Okay,
was
so we
about
are- we are-
10 to
okay, good.
15% of your grade. So they just click in, get it wrong or right, whatever, and just leave. It's like, yep,
Okay.
I am not learning anything from
Do you have the last
99% highlighted book
No,
projected in the
changes
screen.
every round, so don't kill the last zombie. Yeah.
I'm just very glad that I'm done with these classes, though. I hope you
right
get
here.
through these classes when you take them. And to the people that finish these classes, GG to you.
Yeah.